I am.
Okay, good afternoon. I'm joined again by Jon Sharp for the latest in one of our 10-minute takeaway slots. We have been advised there's an update from the FCA on the Insurers response series that Jon's been doing, and Jon is going to give us an update on that. So good afternoon, Jon.
Good afternoon, Julie.
In your last vlog, you mentioned that the FCA may be making comment on the situation. I understand they have. Can you update us as to the content of that, please?
Yes, I can. In my last vlog, I said that the Financial Conduct Authority may well be expecting insurers to be more proactive in relation to COVID-19 losses, etc. For those that are not familiar with the Financial Conduct Authority, it regulates all financial service entities within the UK. So it regulates banks, insurance companies, pension operators, etc. And the FCA is a regulator that has teeth. So it's not like Ofwat, the one that regulates the water companies, which only says, oh, you can have £50 maximum compensation for your inconvenience, which of course terrifies these millionaire water companies to death. The Financial Conduct Authority has real teeth, has its own set of rules, can impose huge fines, and indeed has. I think its record to Barclays was 145 million. So it really can, it does have some clout. It can also force the industry to do different things. It can make them change their policy. So it's not a toothless regulator. It is one with real financial clout and can have a real impact. So it's just written on the 15th of April 2020 to most of the CEOs of various different companies. And it's just reminding them of a couple of basic things. One of the Financial Conduct Authority's main thrust is that you must treat customers fairly. That is at its heart, because it was very conscious that consumers are not in a position to stand up to large insurance companies, large banks, etc. So at its heart, treating customers fairly is one of its, sort of major ethoses. So it's just reminding everyone about that. What it said is that, and I'll quote, insurers and brokers have an essential role to play in supporting their customers who may be unclear whether they have appropriate cover in place. Clear, accurate, and timely communication is crucial, which we expect firms to deliver. The FCA is also collating information from firms in order to assess how they are interpreting policies. So it's aware that there is an issue with COVID-19. Now, it's not forcing those it regulates to start paying out on COVID-19, but what it's saying is that there should be clear responses explaining precisely what the position is. It goes on. In contrast, there are policies where it is clear that the firm has an obligation to pay out on a policy. For these policies, it is important that claims are assessed and settled quickly. The key objective of the FCA is to ensure that financial pressures on policyholders are not exacerbated by slow payment. Rather, such claims should be paid as soon as possible. This is consistent with the wider objective of the authority to support businesses and consumers during the current crisis. So, this is the first time it's now saying we are expecting you, insurers, to explain your position fully to your policyholders and to make sure they understand the stance that you're taking. That, of course, once you've got a clear explanation, enables you to assess what you want to do next. You might want to embark on legal proceedings, you might want to complain to the insurance ombudsman, but it gives you a clear explanation as to why they are declining cover.
Okay, so in essence, pressure is mounting then on insurers.
Absolutely, Julie. The FCA are now restating their core principles and are expecting the insurance companies to abide by them. In addition, you've had the chairman of Lloyd's, as I mentioned in my last vlog, saying to its syndicates that he expects them to respond to COVID-19. And you have the government who have made it very clear that they are very unhappy with the current insurers' response to COVID-19.
Okay, and the brokers are not happy either?
No, the brokers are certainly not happy. A broker's obligation legally is to represent the policy holder. That's its obligation. And obviously, when placing a risk, it has a duty to that policy holder to obtain the best terms at the best possible price, etc. Now, good insurance brokers are saying, we got you the best possible cover that was available at the time, and we think that that covered this situation. Why are you not responding to this current COVID-19 in a more positive way so that we can understand clearly, and we can explain to our clients clearly what your position is? At the moment, with the exception of Hiscox, who seem to be sort of taking now a view that, well, it's not really for a private company to help. Well, that's not a very good explanation, really, for anyone. And they're also putting out a standard template letter, which purportedly refers to policy wording, but in fact, that wasn't the policy wording they issued to their policy holders. So I can well see this being, when it comes to court, insurers trying to run the Ted Baker argument, which is shortly, Ted Baker had lots of clothes stolen from over a number of years. They claimed on their theft policy, as you'd expect them to do, fully expecting an argument as to quantum and amount, getting that, but didn't expect insurers to say, sorry, this wasn't theft, when the people that had carried out the theft had been convicted in the court of law of, guess what, theft. So it is going to be interesting to see precisely what insurers are saying. At least Hiscox have said something, others have just said, oh, I don't know, I'm sticking my head in the sand, all this goes away, which is not desperately helpful for anyone.
No, thank you for that explanation. Can you explain Admiral's decision to refund premiums?
Yes, I have to say, I think Admiral's decision, and this has been applauded by the market. You've only got to go into LinkedIn and see the number of senior brokers that have commented on Admiral's decision. It's putting insurance, just for once, an insurance company in a good light. What Admiral have done, if you pay £900 for your insurance premium, traditionally what happens is £300 of that the insurers put away for claims. That goes into the claims pot. £300 of it normally goes to run the business, pay the wages, the staff, etc. And in the old days, well, probably still is the case, £300 of it is what they call investment income. So they invest that to get a return in it so they can grow the business. Yeah. Now, insurance companies employ experts called actuaries, and these are really very, very clever people. And they keep a record of all the accidents that occur all over the UK, everything else. So they know which age group causes the most accidents, whether it's women, whether it's men, whether, apparently most people have accidents within 3 miles of their home. Because what you do is you think, oh, I'm nearly home now. You take your eye off the ball slightly, and something happens. So they have got all the records. But Admiral say, well, look, we prepared these records expecting traffic levels to be normal, people using their cars on a normal basis. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but my car sat doing nothing apart from going to the shops once for the last 2 weeks. And Admiral recognised that. They said, well, look, our risks now have been greatly reduced. There's far less people on the road. You know, we can't give you all your money back because eventually we'll come out of this, but we're going to give you something back, basically, because most people haven't been driving for the next 2 months. So they're refunding premium. Now, that's a sensible thing for insurers to do. And Admiral have stated that, and I'm sure they'll be followed by other motor insurers as well. Now, that is something that from the motor industry, they have reacted properly to this situation. That, right, okay, you've paid us too much. Most of you haven't been driving. We get that. Have a bit of money back. Now, what we need from those underwriting business interruption business in particular, and those who had cover for if you're forced to leave your office, need to be making a clear statement so that everyone can understand where they're coming from in terms of just saying, it's got nothing to do with us.
Mm.
So as I said, pressure is now mounting.
Right.
And I have absolutely no doubt that court proceedings are being prepared to test insurers' stance. They would be far better making a clear statement, market-wide, so that everyone can understand their position. The only issue with that, of course, is, as I keep stressing, everybody's policy wording will be different.
Mm.
So some people will have just bought the basic cover, other people will have bought medium cover, and other people will have bought the very top cover. So that's the issue. But a clear statement of intent would at this stage be useful for everyone.
Okay, right. So this is good news generally.
Yes, it is good news, Jen. Well, it's certainly good news from part of the insurance industry who have said, right, this is what we're going to do. And Admiral has, you know, they've led the way. They said,
yeah,
this is what we're going to do. And you'd hope that other motor insurers would follow suit as well. Yeah, because it just simply isn't the same of cars on the road. What we need is a similar statement from those with business interruption insurance, etc., which says, look, our attitude to it is this and this and this and this. And people can make an informed choice. At the moment, are they treating customers fairly? Well, the FCA is stressing it to them in a letter written to all underwriters and brokers, as far as I understand, stressing that. So clearly, they don't think they are.
Right, so this one will run on, and we will expect some more updates and more news fairly soon, I would imagine.
I shall do my best, Julie, as always.
Fantastic. Thanks, John, for your time. It's really appreciated. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, thanks, Julie. Take care.
You too.